My name's David, and on this episode I'm going to show you how to set up a Vanlife power system that is super easy. No electrical required. I have no knowledge of how to do wiring, any of that stuff. And for this setup, I'm going to focus on what most people would have, which is a Bluetti or an EcoFlow or any one of those systems, a Jackery, and you want more power, you want to upgrade it. Now, I made a video like this a few weeks ago, and now I have an even better setup. In my previous video, I got a LiTime battery and I hooked it up to my EcoFlow and my Bluetti. I've got two of them. Since then, though, LiTime saw my video, they sent me out their new battery, which is Bluetooth enabled, which just makes this so much better. So this is the setup we're talking about here today. This is the new LiTime battery. This is a 100 amp hour battery. So what you can see here, the main thing, it's got Bluetooth 5.0. It's got a QR code you can scan. You download the app, and this app will tell you how much power is in this thing. Now, if you're new to this, the reason why that's a game changer is normally you need an inverter to get power out of those, and what I use is the cigarette lighter and hook it up to my EcoFlow and just let it draw out at its, whatever, at the lowest rate. It's around 100 watts. Well, it's a little bit slower than what you would normally get. It doesn't require any electrical. Without that setup, you need an inverter, which costs hundreds of dollars, especially if you're gonna get one that's powerful enough to really crank out the power. And you need to get these monitors that monitor the amount of current that goes in and goes out, and then that tells you how much power is in the battery. And all those little things add up. They're like 30, 40, 50 bucks each, and there's a bunch of them. You need a couple of them. And so once you add all that in together, it does add up to hundreds and hundreds of dollars just for those little extras. Now, the thing is, you can add battery and battery and battery and battery. And now, personally, I don't have the time to spend dozens and dozens of hours learning about electrical and wiring, all that stuff. So I just made this super simple and easy. And with this battery, it is ridiculously easy. And this battery has an upgraded little feature here with a handle, so you can carry it really easy, which is nice. The other one didn't have that. And I've got just two sets of cables here, the black and the red. You can see these ones come out to this, and this is a cigarette lighter. And then that can plug directly into the EcoFlow or the Bluetti. And the other cable that comes out goes into here, and that plugs into this charger. And this is the charger I had from the previous video I made, so I just used the same charger for both of these batteries. I've got a second one of these. The other one I have, though, doesn't have the Bluetooth. For this setup, I had to buy an additional one of these cables. So something to note about this setup, when I bought this battery charger, this comes out of the wall and charges the battery. This comes with this cable, and this cable hooks up into these eyelets here. But since I have two of these batteries, I needed a second cable, so I bought a second cable. That way I don't have to unscrew this every time I want to attach this to my other LiTime battery. They both have one now, which just plugs in on this XT60 connection. And then I bought this additional connection here with the cigarette lighter, and that's it. So you just have these two cables, and I make sure to get this one which has a fuse on it, and the fuse protects this in case it surges. And then all you need to do is run the cigarette lighter out of your EcoFlow or your Bluetti or your Jackery or whatever and plug it into that battery, and you can see we'll be able to monitor the power without an inverter or any of those doohickeys. It's quite amazing. This is the app, and this is where you connect the battery just up in the top corner there. You just add it and it finds the battery, and that's it. Or you can use the QR code to add it as well. So we started on the far left one there, the lightning bolt. If we go to this middle one, this one says here, customize your unique battery system here. We tap on this, you can see here, it has a whole bunch of options here. Battery system, RV and van, boat, electrical cart, household, etc. This is if you're getting a little bit more complicated. And if we go over here, it's just got a bunch of other options and things about the app itself. Now, if we go back to this screen and we tap on our battery, it goes in, and now we've got, this is the best part, it shows my batteries at 100%. As you saw over there, the battery was plugged in, and currently there's no watts or amps, voltage, and any of that stuff, 100% capacity, amp hours. You can tap on these things, it says cell status, balance, and the BMS checks the status. If we scroll down here, it shows the temperature, 73.4 Fahrenheit, cycle times, which is interesting, and then the firmware. Tap on the little button on the bottom right, it brings us here. It says there's a discharge switch and power off and remove device. And if you want to rename it at the top here, there's this button up here, and you can just rename what your battery, you can call it whatever you want, King Kong battery, whatever. All right, so I'm at my vehicle here. I've got my Vanlife set up. Here's the battery with the Bluetooth. Now, to show you my setup, we've got the Bluetti AC180 here. On the back side, we've got an EcoFlow River Pro right here. You can see here, this is pulling in 96 watts. This comes out of the port. This is the input port for the charging, and that goes down to my LiTime battery here. So this is the other one. while it is cheaper, it doesn't have the Bluetooth, so I don't know how much power is in there. You just have to charge it and that's it. When it's full, it's full. When it's empty, it's empty. Now let's try this setup though with the new battery over there. For this setup, I've got my Blue Eddy here. Let's plug in this one. You can see 94% power. So let's plug in this battery, which is 100%, and charge that one with it. So this will be my backup. And you can actually do it the other way too. You can use the battery charger, plug it in to there and charge out into this battery if you want. Say in this case, I'm actually getting solar off the roof right now. There's my solar panel up top there. If you're out for multiple days in the bush and the solar is just cranking the power and you're full, then you can actually start discharging back to your backup batteries and do it like that as well. So currently I have this plugged into my solar. Like I showed you, this cable runs over there and out and up. But to charge this with the cigarette lighter that I've got here, I have another cable that's right here. And this one plugs in there and this goes down here. And we can see right there, it plugs into a cigarette lighter in the back of my Honda CR-V. So all we have to do is unplug this guy and plug this into that. So all we have to do is plug this in now, and now we're transferring power. So the power will come from here, through this, into my Blue Eddy AC180. You can see right there, 96 watts input. So that's the rate it goes at. Because I'm not using an inverter and all those other pieces, it just naturally transfers based on the voltage. And you see here 94%, so this will charge up. Now let's check the app and see all this going on in there. So if we go in the app now, we can see the battery there and it's 99% because it just started charging. If we tap on this, we go in there, it says charging 99%. But look at this, it shows the power 105 watts is actually going out of the battery. And the amps minus 7.9, 13.2 voltage. And the capacity there. So it's just, yeah, it's all right there and it happens real time. You can see it has even hours right there. Estimated 12.98 hours remaining usage time. So basically it could keep charging at this rate for another 13 hours. If we go back to my Blue Eddy AC180, you can see here, this will tell you, it's 0.7, 0.8 hours before it's charged. So like half an hour basically to top it up to 100%. Now, while this solution isn't the fastest, you can get faster charge speeds. It's the easiest and it requires no electrical knowledge whatsoever. And it's a great backup source. A lot of people, they would just plug this in overnight and charge up their main unit while they're sleeping and then they're full for the rest of the day. That's basically how I use this. It's the easiest way to do this without having to get all these different cables and all these different charge controllers and inverters and all that stuff. So now I'm plugging in some stuff here just to show you guys. I'm charging off this unit right now. It's only 6 watts going out. We're going to turn on this air compressor, which I've got plugged in. And yet this is still plugged in. It's charging it, but then this can discharge at the same time. We turn this on. So basically, I'm still getting more wattage going in than I was taking out there, and the whole unit works. It works great. Look at this. So in comparison, if we go back over here, we can see that we've got, this one's nearly full. It's only drawing 52 watts now because it's almost 100% out of this LiTime battery, but I don't know how much is left in this battery. So it's, this system, it's just a little bit of mystery there, right? But having that Bluetooth battery, while it does cost more, it gives you exact knowledge of what's going on in there. Now, technically, there's a way for me to connect that other LiTime battery to this one and then have them hooked up. I believe the app, though, only works for that one battery where it has the Bluetooth built into it. But for me, I have 2 units. I'm just going to connect one to one unit, one to the other, and that's it. I don't have to switch them around. There are many options if you do know a little bit of electrical knowledge or if you learn that stuff. Okay, now let me show you guys the opposite where I charge this unit off of my Blue Eddy. Say in the case I had a lot of solar and this was full and I want to discharge some and then start charging with this with solar. We can see this unit here, it's at 98% power. So we're going to go the opposite way now. Now to do that, we're going to plug in this battery charger into my Blue Eddy AC180. You can hear there, it already started pulling some power there. There we go, 13.2, 1.2 amps. Now, something to note, I don't think this charging thing is very accurate at all. I thought it did give an indication, but it always just seems to go up and then eventually it just kind of bobbles around at the top. In comparison, this is actually accurate. So you can see here, now it's starting to kick in. 154, 160, So you can actually charge faster going out of this unit into this unit versus the discharge. And this goes up to, yeah, there we go, 225, 230, 240. And that's what I found. It floats around right 250. 250, 260, kind of bobbles there. And we're already 99, so this is going to get charged up here pretty quick. And you can see for this one, it says estimated 0.05 hours to full charge. So it tells you, just like this unit would, how much time that the battery is going to be needing to charge. And that's just simply because it's got the Bluetooth. For anyone interested in any of the technical stuff, it's actually 450 watts going out of the unit here. So I don't know if there's some conversion that goes through this thingy. I'm guessing that's what happens here versus what's going in. So there you have it. This is the final setup, and in this case we got this up to 99%. If we wanted to get this back charged up while we're driving, we would just take our cigarette lighter, put it back down here and plug it in, and plug my solar back in. Turn this back on here, and the solar is just starting to kick in now. There it goes. So now we're getting some solar charge. This battery is all topped up. Now let's put this in the back here and get this setup complete. So we're gonna put this one next to the other one down here. And here's the final setup. So we've got the new one here with the Bluetooth, and then the one behind it there is the older LiTime battery. You can see here I've got the cables laid out in a really simple manner. I've got the cigarette lighter here and the XT60. This goes into the power brick over there to charge it. And the same goes for the other LiTime battery. I've got one cable hidden back here. It's tucked under, but it pops out right there. That also goes to the battery charger to charge up these off of either the wall or these. And then I've also got, as you saw, the cigarette lighter for the other LiTime one. So I'll just plug in one to this one and one to that one, different units, and we're all set. This LiTime battery is a 1280 watt hour battery, so it's bigger than my EcoFlow or my Blue Eddy 180. So it's a lot of extra power, which is why the setup works so well. You're basically doubling or tripling your power setup. If you guys want to see all the technical details, I'll put those on the screen here for anyone who wanting to know all the little details about this battery, all the extra features. The one additional feature this battery has is low temperature cutoff, which protects your battery if the temperatures get too low, which is a nice added feature, obviously, because if you're in a certain situation, you either have to keep it warm or you have to take it out of your vehicle and put it in your house if you are a seasonal van lifer versus full-time one. We're back inside now, as there's a bunch of guys hammering nails and stuff, but if you want to check out the battery, I'll link it up down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.